Welcome, the anointed ones. Authenticity is a revolutionary act. It doesn't just free you, it rattles those who still cling to their masks. Imagine this. You're in a room full of people. Everyone's smiling, nodding, playing their part, pretending they're perfectly okay with how life's been scripted. Then in walks someone who's unapologetically real, like a gust of fresh air breaking through a stale, crowded space. They're not concerned with approval, don't care about fitting in, and aren't interested in pleasing the crowd. Suddenly, people shift uncomfortably, laughter becomes nervous, and the once charming small talk fades. Why? Because truth, when it walks into the room, makes everyone question the lies they've been telling themselves. Did you know research shows that being true to yourself actually impacts those around you, like a ripple in a pond? It's a phenomenon that's both healing and, for some, outright terrifying. Your authenticity doesn't just belong to you. It's like holding up a mirror that exposes others' own unfulfilled dreams, insecurities, and hidden fears. And for those who aren't ready, that reflection can feel like a bit too much free therapy they never asked for. So, why does being real, being true, being you both heal and haunt others? Let's dig deep into the power of authenticity and why it's something the world needs, whether they're ready for it or not. Chosen ones, I implore you to watch until the end for better understanding and perspective. At number 1, you mirror their unresolved shadows. When you're authentic, people sense it immediately, and for some, that's like staring into a mirror they didn't ask for. Your presence reflects the raw, unfiltered truth that many have spent years trying to avoid, things they bury, deny, or excuse just to get through the day. It's not just that you're being yourself, it's that your very existence brings up parts of their lives they've tried to suppress. Standing next to someone who doesn't hide, people feel exposed, like their insecurities and regrets are out in the open. That's a level of discomfort they didn't plan on, and it rattles them. The irony is that it's not personal at all. They don't actually have a problem with you. They have a problem with the parts of themselves you unintentionally highlight. Your authenticity makes them question the choices they made out of fear, the paths they took to fit in, and the dreams they let die. Your presence becomes an uncomfortable reminder of everything they told themselves they didn't need or couldn't have. For some, this feels like a threat. Instead of owning up to what's lacking in their lives, it's easier to deflect that tension back onto you. They might distance themselves, criticize, or even label you as too intense or too much. That's the power of authenticity. It's both a spotlight and a trigger. Your rawness confronts their carefully maintained illusions. And for those who aren't ready, it can feel like a kind of judgment, even if you've done nothing but be yourself. The truth you embody shakes them, not because you're pushing it on them, but because they can't ignore it. You're the reminder that their buried shadows are still there, waiting to be faced. Number 2, your existence forces people to reconsider their life choices. When you live authentically, it shines a spotlight on the lives of those around you, pushing them to question their own choices, whether they're ready or not. To them, your life isn't just different, it's a silent challenge, a question hanging in the air. Could things have been different for me too? People often live with the quiet, nagging feeling that they settled at some point, took the safer path, or made choices to meet someone else's expectations. But seeing someone who didn't do that, someone who stayed true to their own voice, brings those unspoken regrets to the surface. It's not just that your life looks different, it's that it reminds them of the dreams they tucked away in the corners of their mind, the ambitions they had as kids, the passions they once poured into, the parts of themselves they left behind. All of it rushes back, unfiltered. For some, that's inspiring, like a nudge to re-examine what they're doing and maybe even make some changes. But for others, it stirs a deep resentment. Admitting they've compromised is painful, so instead of facing that, they project their frustration onto you. They see your choices as a threat to the life they've tried to convince themselves is just fine. Instead of asking why they feel uneasy, they convince themselves that you're too intense, unrealistic, or self-centered. Your way of life, even if you're not saying a word, becomes a reminder of everything they once wanted but convinced themselves was out of reach. It's easier for them to make you the problem rather than confront the possibility that they let their own potential slip away. In that sense, your authenticity doesn't just make people uncomfortable, it pulls back the curtain on the compromises they don't want to acknowledge. Number 3, you defy the social conditioning they've invested in. When you live authentically, you're stepping outside of the roles and scripts that society has set up for everyone to follow. People are often conditioned from an early age to follow these predefined paths, be it career paths, relationships, even what they believe to be true about themselves. This conditioning creates a predictable, structured way of life that feels safe and comfortable, but it's a comfort that comes at the cost of individuality. So when you show up unapologetically yourself, it's not just refreshing, it's disruptive. You're living proof that life doesn't have to follow the rules they've been programmed to respect, and that stirs something unsettling in those who are still bound by them. People who invest heavily in society's expectations do so because it gives them a sense of control. They believe that by following the rules, they're securing a stable, acceptable, and normal life. But when you step outside those boundaries, it challenges the illusion that these rules are necessary. Your choice to be real, to live without asking for approval, shatters the belief that people have to conform to find happiness or success. For some, this realization isn't liberating, it's threatening. You're reminding them that they too have the option to question everything they were taught, but that requires them to confront the life they've built on those assumptions. Instead of embracing this possibility, they often react with discomfort or even resentment. They may view you as unpredictable, rebellious, or out of line. But that's because your authenticity pokes at the fragility of the life they've constructed on society's terms, a life that suddenly seems less stable and secure. In reality, they're not resisting you. They're resisting the uncomfortable truth you represent, that their safe world is a choice, not a rule. And for many, that's a truth they're not ready to face. Number 4, your peace is unnerving to those trapped in chaos. When you live with a calm, unshakable peace, it stands out like a beacon to those who are constantly surrounded by drama and chaos. Many people are so used to a life filled with turmoil, stress, conflict, and endless cycles of unresolved issues that they've come to accept it as normal. This chaos can become an identity, a comfort zone that distracts them from facing their deeper issues. So when they encounter someone who's centered and calm, someone who doesn't react to every provocation or get pulled into every emotional whirlwind, it unsettles them. Your peace serves as a quiet mirror, showing them how deeply entangled they are in their own unresolved storms. It's not just that you're unaffected by their chaos, it's that your presence shines a light on just how chaotic their lives truly are. You become a living contrast to their own patterns of stress and drama, making it painfully clear that the constant noise they live with isn't as inevitable as they thought. This realization is uncomfortable because it forces them to confront the reality that they are, in some way, choosing this chaos rather than addressing the underlying issues causing it. For some, this peaceful energy is inspiring, a sign of what's possible if they let go of what doesn't serve them. But for others, it's unnerving. Instead of seeing your calm as a reminder that they could find peace within themselves, they see it as a threat, an irritating contrast that brings their own turmoil into focus. Rather than admitting they're sinking in chaos, they may criticize you or dismiss your peace as boring or out of touch. It's easier to blame the light for being too bright than to face the fact that they've been drowning in their own storm. Number 5, authenticity triggers a deep, primal fear of abandonment. When you live authentically, you naturally gravitate toward deeper, more meaningful connections and have little patience for superficial bonds. People pick up on this even if they can't always articulate it. They sense that you aren't someone who's willing to stick around just for appearances or convenience. This creates an unspoken pressure because, in your presence, they realize that if they don't show up fully, honestly, and vulnerably, they might lose your respect or attention. You value depth and sincerity, and that means anyone who thrives on shallow attachments starts to feel a hidden fear, the fear that they could be left behind. For many, this fear runs deep. We all carry a primal instinct to be accepted and belong. But people who have relied on surface-level connections to maintain a sense of belonging feel this fear even more intensely. They've built their social circles, often even their identity, on staying within a safe but shallow space where they don't have to reveal too much or risk true vulnerability. Your presence, however, subtly challenges this. It suggests that there's more to relationships than just the surface, and that isn't comforting to someone who's invested in keeping things light and easy. So instead of embracing the possibility of deeper connection, they may start to resent you. They might label you as too serious or say that you're too intense because it's easier than admitting they're afraid of what true connection might reveal. Your authenticity triggers a fear that if they don't evolve, they may eventually be left behind. Not just by you, but by anyone who values realness over pretense. It's a quiet but powerful truth, and for some it's too much to bear. They'd rather keep things shallow than face the vulnerability that true depth demands. Number 6, your energy is a natural lie detector. When you're authentically yourself, your energy becomes a natural lie detector, and people sense it immediately. Those who rely on facades and play roles to navigate life feel exposed in your presence. Your authenticity cuts through pretense, and they can't hide behind the masks they usually wear. Even if you're not actively calling them out, just being around you makes them feel uncomfortably transparent. They sense that their carefully constructed personas won't hold up, and that's unsettling. It's like standing in front of someone who can see through their every word and action, straight to the parts they try so hard to keep hidden. For people who live with these facades, maintaining them has become second nature. They rely on their masks to fit into different social circles, to gain acceptance, or to protect themselves from being vulnerable. But your honesty and transparency challenge that approach. Your energy speaks to the truth underneath, the real person behind their masks, and that can feel invasive to those who aren't ready to drop their defenses. They fear that you'll see the cracks in their stories, the inconsistency in their actions, or the insecurity behind their confidence. This is why some people may distance themselves from you without explanation. They feel exposed, like they're standing under a spotlight, and it's easier to avoid you than to confront the discomfort of being truly seen. They may dismiss you as judgmental or too intense, as a way to deflect the fact that it's their own inauthenticity that's being highlighted. The truth is, it's not what you say that makes them uneasy. It's the fact that your very presence calls out the parts of themselves they're not ready to face. Number 7, you break the narrative that misery loves company. When you refuse to participate in the cycle of complaining and blame, you're breaking a social norm that many people rely on for connection. Misery often loves company because it offers a sense of belonging. People bond over shared struggles, venting about what's wrong with their lives, or pointing fingers at others. These interactions create a comfort zone where they feel validated without having to change. But when you step out of that pattern and refuse to entertain victimhood, it disrupts that comfort. Your decision not to engage in these shared grievances sends a clear message. You're choosing to see life through a different lens. This rejection of the misery loves company narrative can be threatening to those still clinging to it. They may feel abandoned or even judged, as if your refusal to complain is somehow a reflection of their own choices. Instead of recognizing that you're offering a healthier perspective, they interpret your stance as a rejection of them personally. They don't see it as a path out of their negativity. They see it as you turning your back on the only way they know how to connect. What they often don't realize is that you're offering a way forward, a choice to find solutions rather than focusing on what's wrong. By stepping away from the blame game, you're choosing to take ownership of your life, no matter how challenging things get. For many, this level of personal responsibility is foreign, even intimidating. They're so used to bonding over struggles that they can't imagine connection without it. Rather than embracing the possibility of a life not defined by complaints, they may resent you for breaking the cycle they're stuck in. They misinterpret your strength as indifference, missing the truth that real growth begins where blame ends. Number 8. Your unbending integrity is a constant reminder of their compromises. Your unwavering integrity serves as a constant reminder of the compromises others make in their own lives. And that reminder can be both enlightening and threatening. When you stand firm in your values and principles, you illuminate a path of courage that many have strayed from in pursuit of comfort and acceptance. Every time you choose authenticity over convenience, you highlight the choices others have made to conform, fit in, or avoid conflict. Instead of inspiring them to elevate their own standards, your integrity often triggers discomfort and defensiveness. For those who compromise their values for the sake of ease or social acceptance, your authenticity can be a harsh mirror reflecting their choices. They may realize that they've sacrificed parts of themselves, be it their beliefs, desires, or dreams, to keep the peace or maintain relationships. Instead of recognizing your integrity as a model to aspire to, they may feel threatened by it. Your strength challenges them to confront their own compromises, and this introspection can be incredibly uncomfortable. In some cases, this discomfort manifests as resentment. They may view you as self-righteous or holier than thou because you refuse to bend your principles. Rather than embracing the opportunity to grow and reassess their own values, they might lash out at you, labeling your authenticity as arrogance. This reaction is not a reflection of your character, but rather a defense mechanism to shield themselves from the reality that they are living beneath their potential. Your integrity serves as a powerful reminder that it's possible to live a life aligned with one's true self. And for those who are unwilling or unable to do so, this realization can feel like a threat. Instead of being a source of inspiration, your steadfastness may become a painful reminder of everything they have sacrificed for comfort, leading them to either avoid you or push back against your presence. In this way, your authenticity not only reveals their compromises, but also offers a challenge to rise above them, a challenge they may not be ready to accept. Number 9, they feel your boundaries even when you don't announce them. Authentic individuals exude a powerful energy that establishes boundaries instinctively, even without explicit declarations. This silent communication can be unnerving for those who are accustomed to overstepping limits. Your very presence sends out a message that asserts, "Here is where I end and you begin," creating an invisible barrier that some people find difficult to navigate. For many, this line is unsettling because it challenges their tendencies to disregard personal space and emotional limits, leading to discomfort and defensiveness. Those who have long operated without regard for boundaries may feel an instinctive pull to test yours. They've grown accustomed to situations where their needs take precedence, often at the expense of others. When they encounter someone like you, who is self-aware and clear about their limits, it can feel like a disruption to their usual dynamics. Your energy makes it clear that you won't tolerate being pushed or manipulated, which puts them in a position of having to reconsider their behavior. They might react with irritation or resentment, feeling cornered by your unspoken rules, rather than recognizing that you're simply taking care of yourself. For these individuals, confronting your boundaries can be daunting. They may prefer to operate in a space where the lines are blurred, where they can encroach on others without much thought or consequence. Your boundaries force them to acknowledge that their approach isn't acceptable, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy or frustration. Instead of seeing your authenticity as an invitation to engage more genuinely, they may perceive it as a threat, prompting them to either withdraw or react defensively. Ultimately, your ability to maintain boundaries without verbalizing them serves as a reminder of the importance of self-respect. It challenges others to rethink their patterns and may inspire them to establish their own boundaries, but not without discomfort. The tension created by your presence can reveal their insecurities, and while it may be unsettling for them, it also opens the door for growth and self-reflection if they're willing to embrace it. Number 10. You expose the shallowness of the status quo. Your mere existence serves as a powerful critique of the status quo, challenging the norms and predictability that many people cling to for comfort. When you choose not to conform, you shine a light on the hollowness of lives built around societal approval and superficial measures of success. This unflinching authenticity disrupts the comfortable narratives that others have constructed around their identities. It's as if you're holding up a mirror, reflecting back to them the emptiness that often lies beneath their surface-level contentment. In a world that often equates normalcy with safety, your refusal to adhere to established expectations can be threatening. People who have built their lives around conformity may find themselves wrestling with uncomfortable realizations. When they see you living unapologetically, it forces them to question whether their own choices are genuinely fulfilling or simply a means of fitting in. This introspection can be jarring, leading to feelings of anxiety and self-doubt. Rather than embracing this opportunity for growth, many will instinctively pull back, guarding their illusions against the possibility that their reality might be less than satisfactory. This reaction is not necessarily a reflection of you, but rather an indicator of their own struggles with authenticity. They might dismiss you as eccentric or radical, projecting their discomfort onto you instead of confronting the emptiness of their own routines. By highlighting the superficiality of the status quo, you inadvertently threaten the very foundations of their identities. It's easier to retreat into familiar patterns than to face the unsettling truth that their lives might lack the depth and richness you embody. In essence, your authentic presence invites others to consider the true essence of their lives, but it also poses a risk to the illusions they've created for themselves. While you challenge them to embrace a more meaningful existence, many will choose to stay within the confines of their comfort zones, reluctant to confront the depth of their own choices. Your ability to expose the shallowness of their status quo ultimately underscores the importance of living truthfully, but it also highlights the fear and resistance that can accompany such profound realizations. Number 11, you unmask superficial spirituality. When you embody true authenticity, you inherently unmask the superficial spirituality that many people cling to as a form of comfort. Those who engage in performative spirituality often rely on surface-level practices, rituals that lack depth, slogans that sound profound but hold little meaning, and philosophies that prioritize aesthetics over genuine understanding. Your presence serves as a stark contrast to this facade. It's as if you walk into a room filled with smoke and mirrors, and suddenly, the illusions start to dissipate. To those entrenched in this kind of spirituality, your authenticity can feel like a reality check. It forces them to confront the disparity between their performative practices and the raw, often uncomfortable truth of what genuine spiritual growth requires. While they may find solace in rituals and community, you embody the reality that true spirituality is not about outward appearances or social validation. It's about deep self-examination and a willingness to face one's own shadows. This authenticity can be a threat to those who prefer to keep things shallow because it challenges them to dig deeper into their own beliefs and practices. Rather than inspiring them to seek a more profound understanding, many may react defensively. They might label you as too intense or overly serious, projecting their discomfort with self-reflection onto you. Your ability to shine a light on their superficiality highlights their fears, that perhaps their spiritual practices are merely a way to look good rather than a path toward real growth. In this way, your authenticity not only exposes the hollowness of their practices, but also provides a unique opportunity for growth. You challenge them to ask themselves tough questions. Are they truly evolving, or are they merely going through the motions? Are their spiritual beliefs a reflection of their inner truth, or are they just playing a part in a larger performance? While some may embrace this challenge and seek to deepen their spiritual journey, others will shy away, clinging to their illusions. Your presence acts as a catalyst for self-discovery, but it's up to them to decide whether to rise to the occasion or retreat back into the comfort of their superficiality. Number 12, they fear your potential to change the game. The transformative power of true authenticity is something many people sense on a subconscious level, and your very presence can act as a catalyst for significant change. Deep down, They recognize that when someone embodies genuine self-expression and challenges the status quo, it can disrupt their familiar routines and beliefs. You represent a potential shift in consciousness, a radical departure from conformity that can spark a revolution in how they perceive themselves and the world around them. However, this potential for change can also be incredibly intimidating. Many have constructed their lives around a carefully curated facade, one that aligns with societal expectations and norms. The prospect of embracing authenticity, which requires self-examination and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths, threatens to dismantle the foundations of their carefully built lives. They might feel a mix of excitement and fear, as your authenticity invites them to consider possibilities they've long suppressed. For those who thrive on conformity, your ability to inspire change can feel like a ticking time bomb. The thought of abandoning their comfortable patterns, no matter how superficial or unfulfilling, can provoke anxiety. They may see you as a disruptor, someone who threatens the equilibrium they've settled into, and instead of celebrating your potential to inspire, they might push back. They could dismiss your authenticity as too radical or unrealistic, convincing themselves that their way of life is preferable to the upheaval you represent. In essence, your potential to catalyze change shines a light on the gap between who they are and who they could become. This gap can be uncomfortable, triggering insecurities and fears of inadequacy. Not everyone is ready or willing to embrace that transformative journey, so they may choose to avoid or reject you instead. By fearing your authenticity, they guard against the possibility that they could be more than they currently are, clinging instead to the safety of their established routines. Your mere existence then becomes a challenge, a call to rise above mediocrity. But for many, it's easier to retreat into the shadows than to step into the light of their true potential. In a world where conformity is often celebrated, your authenticity emerges as a radical act of defiance, a powerful reminder that true transformation begins within. You hold the potential to inspire revolutions, not just within yourself, but also in those around you. By living authentically, you challenge the superficial norms that bind others, urging them to confront the hollowness of their carefully constructed lives. While this authenticity may evoke fear, discomfort, and resistance, it also serves as a beacon of hope, illuminating the path toward genuine self-discovery and personal growth. As you continue to embrace your true self, remember that the journey may not always be smooth. The pushback from those who feel threatened is simply a reflection of their struggles with their own identities. Your presence can be a catalyst for change, stirring deep-seated fears while simultaneously offering the promise of liberation from the constraints of societal expectations. It's essential to stay rooted in your truth, knowing that your authenticity is not just a gift to yourself, but to the collective. Each time you choose authenticity over convenience, you chip away at the barriers that hold others back. You become a living testament to the power of self-acceptance and courage, inspiring others to question their narratives and reclaim their own identities. In a society that often equates normalcy with safety, you stand as proof that true fulfillment lies beyond the confines of expectation. Embrace your uniqueness, for it is this very essence that has the power to heal, uplift, and transform not only your life, but the lives of those fortunate enough to witness your journey. So, shine brightly and unapologetically, knowing that in doing so, you may very well light the way for others to follow. As we conclude our exploration of the transformative power of authenticity, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. By joining our community, you support our mission to promote genuine self-expression and personal growth. Your subscription ensures you won't miss out on future discussions that inspire real change in your life. Let's challenge the status quo together. Hit that subscribe button and embark on this journey of authenticity and empowerment. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to our next adventure. Stay blessed.